What do we want?
Fair rent.
What do we want?
Fair rent.
When?
Now.
When?
Now.
When?
Now. We have started already.
Awesome. We appreciate all the seniors at Marwood for being out here today. My name is Jorge Benitez Perez. I am the lead organizer for CASA here in Prince George's County. CASA stands with the seniors at Marwood today to denounce Conifer LLC for hiking the rents of many seniors at this property. We have seen rent increases of $100, $200, $300. And to that, we say shame. Shame. Shame on Conifer.
Shame on Conifer.
Shame on Conifer.
Shame on Conifer.
Many of the seniors here in Marwood are long-time Prince George's County residents. Many of them on fixed incomes. The rent increases here make no sense. And today we are here to demand a meeting with leadership and representatives of Conifer LLC. We are asking you to come to the table and listen to your tenants. The least you can do is come and hear the concerns. Up first, I want to introduce a longtime Prince George's County resident who received a massive increase by Conifer. Shame on Conifer. Shame on Conifer. Shame on Conifer.
Shame on Conifer.
Shame.
Please help me welcome Bishop Clyde.
Hello, everybody. Listen, I've been resident here for more perhaps than 18 years. When I first came to Marwood, my rent was like $900. As of last year, it was up like $1,212 monthly. This year it jumped from $1,212 to $1,513. I love Prince George's County. I have relatives who live here, friends also. And without a doubt, of course, this is out of my reach in terms of my being able to pay for this kind of increase. But because I have children, family, other friends to assist me, it means some of everything. So all I'm saying here today, this is not legal, logical. It is quite irresponsible. And the sadness of it all is that part of this has stemmed from another area of Maryland, but not in Prince George's County. So therefore, while I'm here today, I want you to know that it is shame because this is a senior citizen building establishment. And it is unnecessary, and it is more than we should have to try to bear. The security, even in the apartment, is sometimes not at its best from the viewpoint. At least a couple of times here, people who park on the parking lot out here, they have a tendency to experience certain things such as the breaking into their cars, the removal of the stickers, and it is just shame when you wake up the next morning to find out that your windshield or something has been broken and your disability sticker has been removed. Now, one thing for certain and two things for sure, this has not just happened once at Marwood, but at least twice. So all I'm saying is this, they're talking about putting up cameras at night, take pictures of such, but I don't know how far that's going or what have you. But we seniors here at Marwood unanimously sent a letter of demand to the representatives, owners of Marwood Apartments in Conifer. Prince George's County needs permanent rent stabilization. And, and by that, I simply mean this. We are seniors. We have helped build America in its entirety. And to come down on us now in our later years, I want to say old age. But most of all, what's highly important is this. It seems as if though they're trying to run us out, they just want to treat us any kind of way. We're not going to stand for it. And we call on the representatives of Marwood Senior Apartments, Conifer, to please sit with us and answer our demands. It is so highly important that whether some of us realize or not, we're all in this together. And when anger comes and frustration and this kind of nonsense behavior, we must take a stand.
Hallelujah.
God bless you.
Yes, yes.
What do we want? What do we want? What do we want?
Fair rent.
What do we want?
Fair rent.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
You want it tomorrow?
No.
You want it next week?
No.
When?
Now.
When?
Now.
Thank you, Bishop Clyde, for those powerful words and a real reminder of why, this is so important that we have permanent rent stabilization in the county. Like Bishop Clyde mentioned, seniors that are now aging have built Prince George's County and deserve to have protections as renters. Up next, I want to introduce a 41-year resident of Prince George's County who has also received a massive rent hike by Conifer. Please help me welcome Josephine Swan.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm Josephine Swan. I've lived in Prince George's County for 41 years. Prince George's County is my home. I have been here in Marwood Senior Apartments for 2 years. And can you hear me? Okay. And I want to thank Crystal Oriata for bringing rent stabilization in Prince George's County. And thank you again for standing with the seniors. When I came here, my rent was $1,504 for a 1-bedroom. After 2 years, it's $1,807
Shame.
for this 1-bedroom apartment. That is too much for me. I depend on fixed income. This rent hike is too much for me. I can't afford it. Rents are too damn high. We have asked for Conifer to meet with us and address our demands, but they keep neglecting us. We are helpless. Stop rent hikes, permanent rent stabilization now. We seniors stand for permanent rent stabilization for everybody in Prince George's County. Thank you, Castle, for coming to our rescue. Conifer, the least you can do is meet with us. We make sure your business running now. Answer our call to sit down and meet with us now. Thank you.
What do we want? What do we want?
Fair rent.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Fair rent.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Fair rent.
When do we want it?
Now.
The seniors united.
Will never be divided.
The seniors united.
Will never be divided.
The seniors united.
Will never be divided.
What do we want?
Fair rent.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Fair rent.
When do we want it?
Now.
We're going to have to take a firm stand. This is totally ridiculous. For all of us have retired. Where is the $300, $400, $500 coming from? If you're working, that's one thing. But absolutely, it's a total disgrace. And what they're doing is criminal. Because the other apartment owners have gone with 3%. They still out here breaking for every dime and have no intention of doing anything. And we've got to stand strong on this.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Up next, I want to introduce another longtime resident of Prince George's County for over 50 years. 50, that's right, 50. She also received a rent hike, but most importantly, the next person has been helping organize her neighbors, her fellow tenants, against these ridiculous rent hikes that make no sense. Please help me welcome President Sandy Miller Scott.
Okay, good afternoon, all residents of Marwood, and most of you know me, and I usually go by Sandy because they can't pronounce my name, but it is Sinester Austin. Anyways, I have lived in Prince George's County over 50 years. I came from New York. I love Prince George's County, and I've been all over the United States. I've lived different places being military. There's no place like Prince George's County. In addition to that, I love Marwood. I just don't like how Marwood is treating us. 2 years ago, I moved in the building here, and my rent was $12.58 at that time. My rent increased after the 2 year. It went up 15.13. I don't have that. Maybe if I could sell some of my boots or hats or clothes, I could get some more money. I don't. We don't. We're all retired, and we want to. We're on a fixed income. Um, the 3% cap that was stabilization that was passed February 28th. It presented, and then they passed the bill. We're asking Conifer, please honor the bill, or come and tell us why you're not honoring that bill that was passed in Prince George's County. I'm happy to see the council member, Oriata, Krista Oriata is here, who wrote that bill, and she is steady supporting us. You know, a lot of us have experienced different things in our apartment and in the building. You know, my air conditioner went out. They say, well, you don't need the air unless you got COVID or respiratory. I just walked away. So, and then later on, they say, you know, we're going to get a part. We're not going to do nothing. Okay. And I've talked to Mr. Austin about this. So finally, we always get the word they need a part. It's on order. I did get a window unit. Thank God. That's helping, but not in the bedroom. And once they put that in, that fell out on the balcony. But that's okay. They came the next day and they put the unit back. But our concern is the rent stabilization and what's going on in our apartments with appliances and things like that, that it's an absolute necessity. I have contacted Representative Sidney Harrison many times. He's our representative for our area, and no response. He came over when he campaigned, but now we need someone to represent us. Ms. Oriata, she's not in our district, but she never failed to come and help the corner residents. She's been in other properties also. Our demands to meet the owners of Marwood of Conifer LLC has been neglected. They say they're going to wait till October. Well, I need air before then because then I'll be needing to have heat. And I don't have a unit at all. But yeah, I did sign the lease because I don't want to, get evicted. So I did sign the lease. We thank Austin, who's been diligently working with us, trying to help us solve our issues. And I can say on behalf of all of us, we all seniors and we all need help. I'm asking Conifer, have a little mercy. You may get old one day, or you may have old parents. Please come and talk to us.
Yes.
What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Fair rents.
When do you want it?
Now.
When?
Now.
Do you want tomorrow?
No.
Do you want it next week?
No.
When do you want it?
Now. Thank you, President Sandy, for those strong, powerful words. And to remind us of why we're here, right? We're here to ask Conifer to do the bare minimum, which is just come here and meet with us. The bare minimum. We're not asking for anything else. And you as seniors, as renters, deserve more than the bare minimum. But that is what we're asking for today. Up next, I want to introduce a Prince George's County Council member, a community organizer, advocate, housing champion. Please help me welcome from District 7, Council Member Crystal Oriata.
Hello, everyone. I'm Councilwoman Crystal Oriata. I have the pleasure of representing District 7. As mentioned earlier, this is not my district, but I think it's so important as an elected official to not only see district lines, but just see people. And when I see people in need, I have to show up. And I want to say thank you to CASA for all the work you have been doing in the community, organizing people, giving them voice. And I want to thank all of you for not giving up, for organizing and protesting and becoming advocates. I'm sad that you have to advocate at this stage of your life and for a basic human right, which is access to adequate housing. And what's so disturbing about this issue is that we're not asking for handouts. We're asking for what's fair. We're asking for what's reasonable. We're asking for what's just. When we talk about the homeowners in Prince George's County, one of the things that we all know as elected officials, especially members of the council, is that we cannot do anything that would even attempt to raise people's property taxes. That if we did, it's a death sentence to being reelected, right? Because they know that people cannot wake up one day and need to pay $300, $400, $500 more. But for some reason, they don't apply the same logic to people that are renting. But it's the same exact situation. They are acting as if it's normal that you can wake up one day and be able to afford 20%, 30%, 50% more in rent without any change in income. And it makes no sense. And to me, the main issue is greed. That is it. Because these property owners are not going bankrupt. They're continuing to build. When I first introduced temporary rent stabilization, they said, well, what about the development? I have met with more developers building apartments inside of my district than my district has seen in over the last decade with rent stabilization. Right? So that argument that it's going to stop development, that they can't afford it, is just not true. And if you have to make cuts at the top. We talked about across the board, all these industries. When we had the same argument about the healthcare industry, you had people making millions and millions and millions of dollars at the top, but they were overcharging people their basic needs for insulin and say that they couldn't afford to cut the price. That's not true. You can afford to cut some salaries so that people can have the basic things that they need. And that is what we're asking for. Yep. And so the bare minimum they could do is meet with you. Because I honestly have no idea why they're not following the law. It is capped at 3% unless it is HUD subsidized or a voucher program. And when you live in those type of facilities, you don't pay more than 30% of your income. It's plain and simple. So when I hear people talk about that they are living a market rate or they're at 50%, 60% of AMI, I have no idea how the property owners are interpreting that they're exempt, that they don't have to follow the 3% cap. And that's why it's so important that each and every one of you report. Because the sad thing is that no one is going to hold them accountable unless it's reported. I wish that we passed the bill and then we would see the agencies go out on their own proactively and look at all of these apartment complexes, but they're not going to do that. They're only going to look and demand to see the documentation that makes you exempt if residents report them. So I'm making sure that every single person here, everyone that you know that lives in this building that has seen an increase, reports it to 311, works with CASA to report it, and then once they have a list, they'll bring it to me. I will take that list and reach out to the head of the agency and say, I have 50, 100, however many residents there are that have reported this, and I need it looked into immediately. And we also have to realize there's a fine for them. It's a $500 fine per unit. And if they continue to break the law, it's $1,000 per unit. And that's why it's so important that each and every single person reports them, because we wish people did things because it's morally right, but a lot of times people do things if it hurts their pockets. And we have to make sure there's going to be a financial consequence for their actions. And again, they only do that if you report it. And so we have to continue to fight. We have to continue to band together. We have to continue to demand to be treated equally, demand a meeting. And my office will work with you all to try to get a meeting with the leadership here, like I've done with some other apartment complexes across the county. But I am, well, hopefully they didn't call for us. You know, hopefully they didn't. It won't look good. I'm 7 months pregnant, but if we got to go in handcuffs, I guess that's what we're going to have to do today. But the real issue here is that they are taking advantage of one of the most vulnerable populations in our community, our senior citizens, and I will not stand for it. We also we're working on passing legislation around security. I've heard you guys loud and clear about the thefts, not having access to security. So we have introduced a piece of legislation that is going to mandate cameras, working cameras at all apartment complexes above 100 units. And we're also asking for some level of on-site security during peak hours at all senior living facilities. So that is a piece of legislation we're working on right now. And I will be reaching out to you all to come testify, because I don't have enough votes for it to pass right now. But if we want to see better security that is mandated for these complexes, we have to pass this legislation. So we'll be reaching out, we'll be organizing, we'll let you know when that bill is being heard in committee and public hearing, and we need you guys to join in that fight. So again, I just thank you for your hard work and for allowing me to stand with you, and I'll be with you until we have permanent rent stabilization. So thank you.
What do we want? Fair rent. What do we want?
Fair rent.
What do we want?
Fair rent.
What do we want?
Fair rent.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
Do you want it tomorrow?
No.
Do you want it next week?
No.
What do we want?
Fair.
What do we want? When?
Now.
When?
Now.
Fight.
Housing is a human right.
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 Fight. Housing is a human right. Fight. Housing is a human right. Just we can.
So, just to wrap up, we make one final call to Conifer. We have written letters that were sent out in June. It has been 2 months past June where we reached out. Conifer reached out with a response saying we can meet in October. That is too late. We don't have time. We cannot wait. We will not wait.
We will not wait.
Right, we need Conifer here now. Do we need them here next month?
No.
The month after that?
No.
October 24th?
No.
When do we need them here?
Now.
When?
Now.
When?
Now.
Yes, we can. 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 Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Can we?
Okay.